Jeter blew me off for a photo. And instead of acting like a 35-year-old man, I acted like a 14-year-old wounded teenage girl, and I made fun of him in my book and in my act.
Wow.
But unless something happens...
Did it really bother you?
Oh, my God, yeah. We took the photo. He actually wouldn't sign it. Oh, it killed me. Because, as much as I've been doing stand-up for 25 years, I look at athletes and actors and musicians like I'm like a hero worship person. When I meet one of those guys, I'm very, very, reverential.
Okay, take me through this Jeter moment here. So you have a picture...
We got a picture. I worked for XM. I'm on Opie and Anthony, and we were in Vegas, and he was one of the guests of the company. So we took a photo together, and then 6 months later, I went to a dinner that he has, that foundation.
Yeah,
Turn two, and XM bought like a $25,000 table. So I was such a creep. I really did. I stood outside the men's room just to get pictures with all the Yankees. It really was awful.
No, it'd been creepier if you had gone into the bathroom.
If I thought that was an option, I would have. Believe me, that was not out of integrity. That was just, I knew they'd say no. Even Louisiana Lightning won't take one at the urinal. So I asked Jeter to sign this photo of he and I. And it was obviously not a picture for sale. I'm not it was me and him. And he turned me down 3 times. He's like, no, I'm going to do somebody. And I got really, really angry, and I kind of bashed him on the air, and I bashed him in my book. I kind of regret that, though, because it's like, you know what? Maybe he thought I was trying to get something for free, and it was a charity event, and I should have paid. There might have been that angle.
Yeah.
And he was doing a charity event, and I was there trying to get a picture signed. He wins in the eyes of humanity. He's helping sick kids, and selfish me is trying to get a photo.
Do you think he'll put you in his next book?
No, I think if he walked right in this room right now and I told that story, 5 minutes later he'd see me and go, who are you? No, I think I do not register in his life at all.
You're the king of awkward moments. When we come back with Jim Norton, we'll talk about some of these awkward moments.
Sure.
And Paulie channels you, whether he knows it or not. He is the king of awkward moments.
Oh, good.
Yeah, Paulie's great at it. Contextually, I hate that word.
I know, it's a tough one to say. It's a tough one to say.
I mean, come on, you're a radio host. You know this. His third consecutive epic special, Contextually Inadequate, from the Somerville Theater in Boston, premieres tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern. Joining us here in the Man Cave. You're the king of awkward moments. Paulie does this all the time. I'll come in, may have new pants on. Maybe Fritzy has on cologne, and Paulie will inevitably say, yeah, what kind of cologne you got on there? Or where'd you get those slacks? But you'll do this to perfect strangers.
Yeah, I'll ask people. Donald Sutherland, I asked him about his cologne. I never mind. If a man smells good, I want to smell like him. It's not an attraction thing. And I think Sutherland's a weird guy, but he actually gave me his bottle of cologne. He did. He goes, here you are. And he gave it to me. And there was only a little bit left. And then his publicist asked for it back. And I was like, no, I lost it. I was like, what are you, just trying to give it to me on the air? If it's a gift, I'm keeping it. And I still have it.
But what about the slacks thing, though? Can you ask somebody about their slacks? What, Paulie?
Well, years ago, I actually heard you and Opie and Anthony, and you're talking about the difference between saying someone's got a nice pair of jeans and you look good in those jeans is a completely different verbiage to talking to another guy.
Yeah, that is, because you're saying you look good to any man is never good, because if it's from the back, he thinks you're creepy. If it's from the front, you're even more creepy. Maybe from the side. If you're looking at his hip, you can go your hips look solid. That's not considered kind of sexual and creepy. But no, you can't compliment a man in his jeans at all.
I know you have a problem with hoarders, and if you see, here at the Man Cave, I'm a hoarder.
You're a collector. There's a big difference.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because you smell good. That's the difference between a hoarder and a collector. It's the smell. You smell clean.
I've taken a shower recently.
Yeah, absolutely. And your stuff is placed discreetly about. I mean, I'm the same as you. I collect. I get everything signed. I get boxing gloves signed. I don't know why. It's all signed to me. I'm never going to sell it. But yeah, hoarders are just kind of creepy and gross, and they smell, and they're narcissists, and I don't put you in that category at all.
And they don't have good things that they hoard.
No, they don't. This is toilet paper I got in 1975. I don't want to see your toilet paper. And they hoard their own bathroom stuff. They throw it on the steps. They're terrible people. I got a lot of hate mail when I did that bit on television, too, by the way. Oh, you don't understand. Right now you're typing from a pile of garbage. I do understand. Shut up.
Do you have a friend who's a hoarder?
I have a lot of friends with mental problems. I wouldn't say I have one who's a particular hoarder. I probably am the worst that I know, and maybe that's why I don't like it, because I see my potential in a hoarder to save junk.
I had Glenn Frey on from the Eagles,
sure,
lead singer.
Best documentary ever. It
was awesome. But I said, we always hear musicians have to go, you're sort of gardening the troubled life. There has to be a darker side to you, and you somehow find it, and you make it out, and you write a song about it. Comedians do the same thing. Can you, Like there's certain comedians. Jim Gaffigan's a happy guy.
Yes.
Brian Regan is a happy guy.
Yeah. No, Regan's a happy guy on stage. I've talked to him off stage. Oh, yeah. Regan's like Max Cady in Cape Fear. Off stage, he's not as happy.
Do you have to be, if I said you could be happy on stage or off stage, what would you take?
Wow, great question. I would probably take it off stage. I would rather be happy off stage because that's where I spend most of my time, and that's where most of my misery comes, is off stage. So yeah, I'd much rather be happy off stage and then cranky on stage as long as the crowd liked it.
Can a guy be good looking and be a great comedian?
I think you can be. I mean, Seinfeld, I wouldn't call him beautiful, but he's not hideous.
He's got nice slacks.
He certainly does,
And
they're
he
nice
smells
and neat,
good.
and he looks good from the front and back if you want the truth.
Brad Pitt can't be funny.
No, because he has no need to. Being funny is a need. Like, I didn't get asked to the party unless I tap dance like a clown. So if you're good looking, that's why they have less of a personality, because they don't need it. They get to sleep with people.
It's like the pretty girl.
It's like the pretty girl. She's never as fun as the chick that's 40 pounds overweight and plays softball. Wink, wink. She's always more fun to be around, and because she has a mullet and she's kind of had to work for any of the attention she's got. The pretty girl just is.
But when you get on stage, can you get angrier on stage?
Sometimes it depends on how the audience is responding. I'm not one of those people that says there's never a bad crowd. There's a lot of bad crowds. So if the crowd is being rude or if they're not responding to something I really think they should respond to, I figure the plane's going down with all of us, and we're all going to need a shower when this is over. I make it miserable for everyone.
What makes a great crowd?
A great crowd is just a crowd that doesn't judge whether they agree with it or not. All I want to be judged on is, do you think it's funny or don't you? That's it. Not whether you agree, not whether it's clean or whether it's dirty. Are you offended? None of that stuff matters to me. If it's funny, laugh, and if it's not funny, don't laugh. That's all I ask.
When I watch Chris Rock, he seems like this panther on stage, or a tiger, like he's prowling. You can almost, as he's pacing back and forth like that. And he's attacking, not the crowd, he's attacking his jokes.
Yeah.
He's got something to deliver, and he seems to build up this, and he's not that way off. No stage. But when he gets on, he's different. And it's like athletes are this way too. You can talk to an athlete, Troy Polamalu. He's one of the nicest guys. He's got a soft voice, very soft. He gets him on the field with the Steelers, and he's a Tasmanian devil. Yet I think you'd have to have that mix between what it's like on stage and off stage. You couldn't be that same guy. Is Andrew Dice Clay the same guy on as he is off?
No, the funny, Dice is like a big mama's boy. Like he likes like big things of honey. He likes big things of candy and being babied. Me and Dice were working together in Vegas one time, and I'm about to go on stage, and we're just standing there, and he looks at me and he goes, "You get nervous when you go on?" And I go, "Yeah, a little bit. How about you?" And he goes, "I'm terrified." And that made me feel so much better about myself to hear this animal, because he really is an animal on stage, just admitting that he's just Andrew and he's as scared as I am.
Have we had a comedian, you had Eddie Murphy and Richard Pryor who had that kind of notoriety. Because Dice was selling out the Garden.
Yes, he was. And before social media, he was doing it word of mouth.
Yeah.
Not that it's easy now, but there's a little more guys can do it because there's other ways to get famous.
Would you rather do a big venue or small?
I'm going to say small venue because that's really all I can sell. So let me make it look like it's my choice as opposed to the public going, "You're rejected, stupid." It's I like 1,000 seats is a great theater size. I mean, anything bigger than that. Louis did the Garden 3 nights, and he said it's weird. He said the example he gave was it was like starting a truck engine. Like it takes a few seconds to get them going. You're not destroying immediately. Once they're going, but you have to kind of rev up into it. And I'm not as cool and collected as Louis on stage, and I would probably panic and tank the set. You have to have a certain mentality to do that.
I heard him, he may have been on Howard Stern, where Louis talked about going on stage and sort of made it up as he went along. So he was going to have something to say for a stand-up routine, and he basically went up there and said, "Let me see if I can just do something on the spot."
Yeah, that's great. That's how I work out material at the Comedy Cellar. I'm on the air in the morning, whether we're talking about ISIS or we're talking about pop culture. If anything sparks interest, you go on stage that night and just kind of see where you want to go with it. And a lot of times it bombs. I mean, a lot of times it just stinks. 80% of what I think is going to be phenomenal, I get up on stage and I'm like, "You have zero comedic talent. You should get out of the business." But the 20% that works. And that's the stuff that stays.
How do you know you're funny?
It's just, it depends. I've always associated that kind of quality with myself because other people tell you. Other people tell you by like either laughing or even when they don't laugh, they don't look away ashamed. Like, you know that there's people in life who want to be funny and aren't, and they always try.
But does it bother you when somebody says, "Oh, that's funny," but they don't laugh?
No, because I think that's usually what a comedian will say. That's how you know a comedian's enjoying you. You'll say something hilarious, and they're like, "That was very good." We just don't respond the same way. So no, I'm not offended. I would prefer to have that than them fake laughing. I hate fake laughter.
Seton, give Jim some.
That's pretty good. That's better. My fake laugh is not good. It's like,
Yeah, that sounds fake.
yeah, it really does. I'm not a good fake laugher.
We had Seinfeld on at the Super Bowl in New York, and he sliced and diced us. He carved us up.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, he gave us a tutorial on. He said we did a skit, and he said it wasn't bad, and he said that was a compliment.
Yeah, it is a compliment because a guy like Seinfeld, I don't know Jerry well, but I've known him enough over the years where he's uncomfortably honest. Like he can't pretend he likes you if he doesn't like you. So I think the fact if Seinfeld doesn't spit on you, you're hitting a home run with Seinfeld.
That's nice. Very nice. You're not big on sports talk radio, though, right?
I've made fun of it in the past.
Yeah.
Good sports talk radio I like, but Mike Francesa. How do you not like Mad Dog? Francesa irritates me, but Mad Dog I like. You I now like. I have to say that because I'm here, but I do like you. But you're a good broadcaster.
Will you stab me in the back after you leave?
Never. Unless you bash me, then I would.
Oh, okay. I promise not to bash you.
And I'll never stab you in the back.
All right, I appreciate
I would
that.
like us to be friends for a long time.
But why is it you don't like sports talk radio?
Because I found that so many of the callers were irritating, and